Good afternoon, everyone. This is Tony, and part of our is a general sustainable consultant. Deal with the city developers and operations. What we do is we develop a lot of new construction and existing buildings for our clients. And you manage the process. So we're designed to the single codes. We bring our architects, we bring our engineers, we bring the right general contractors, we bring in the right subcontractors. What we've been doing numerous these projects and other different things that a lot of clients go for, like green buildings. And what we see through our track record is that projects always start. You always can bring a good team of engineers, architects together. The key is when we started a green project, it's conforming certification does the lack of knowledge on the contractor side. So a lot of times we are able to design these projects that have all these requirements or all these sustainable goals, and we bring the contractors in, and you sort of say, are you able to do, you understand what we're going to tell you, you understand what we're doing with material selection, and you get the concept, yes, we do understand. When it's time to go and now to keep track, you saw through the paperwork and through different submittals that pieces were missing. So one thing that we did as Crescent Energy, we looked at the whole process. We said, you know what, we can't get involved no more and just be a green consultant and just say, you know what, we're here just to manage the lead process. We really took the bull by the horn and said, we're going to manage the whole process. We're pretty much the sustainable process is going to be started by, we're going to incorporate every contractor, everyone into the process. And what we call that is like a menu that we do. We get a big one like this, and we set everybody down, from the contractors to the designers to the landscape architect, and we talk about where do we see the pitfalls, where do we see problems. One things that you see nowadays with construction documents is that construction documents are never 100% complete. And that's just because of the fast track pace of building. We've always budgeted on attendees. So how can you budget, for that's not the plan. We're always carrying budget numbers. So with that process there, we allocate and we develop a real working schedule. We took a general construction schedule, which used to be a tool, but now because it's something that we used to show the client, just make them happy. Yeah, your build's going to be done in 18 months. No one's going to take 24 months. So now we realize that we incorporate every single item. By doing that, we can track and match the whole process. Starting to get certification, get zero certification, these different things that are necessary as tools. Now, if you're talking about course today, one of the things we see with construction project is now we take out that contract effect. And that came through us with the contract. We saw our team. The contract doesn't meet the requirement of a sustained contract. He has to go through necessary workshop we offer. So this way he understands how to properly bid, budget, and manage a construction project that's going for a sustainable documents or LEED certification. By doing that, we rip out the contract of guidelines construction industry contract. See our application that we're going for a LEED goal, 10%, 50%, top of the number, right? That's a contract effect. So whenever you hear about someone talking about cost, a LEED project or a sustainable project, it's we did a project that sorted out that we saw a 1% increase to that budget. So the cost you see is going to range depending on who's the contractor, who's going to be there. My feeling is that that's about right, that 1% increase on a road certified building. We did everything from a gray water system. So we really went Belson with the American budget. We wasn't part of it, where you just money at and said, we want to do the best, so we have a budget to do it. A lot of times, especially in a county like this, the money's not there. And so now a lot of developers are saying, what's the point from green? I don't have the money to spend. So we have to kind of reinvent ourselves to now approach a green project and say, well, this is what I can bring up front cost-wise. All the different incentives that you heard from my survey meeting, that you heard with the emergency generator program. There's so many programs out there that you can bring to a building and develop it. This is a funding I can get you for doing these following items, and this can all play with giving you LEED certification, building sustainable, and things like that. So those are the key areas that look at the project. And right now, front course. So those incentives that contract aware, that's what we, and what I mentioned is that right now, the industry is disabilities. Construction not only got a lot of requests that you want to upgrade their existing building, you want to reduce their carbon footprint. There's a lot of different incentives out there that we bring to residential buildings. Incentives that we bring, we look at a whole building. Residential buildings. They're running fuel oil, they want to upgrade their building. Well, what's some of the costs? I need to look at my building, I want to upgrade my windows, I want to upgrade my mechanical system. Where do I get the money from? One of the incentives that we brought in was the fact that, we're running number 2, number 4 fuel oil. Well, they give you a 20 cents per gallon rebate if you switch to these parts. We brought that in. Test one out, no change of necessary. And we show that, by the way, if you're using 300,000 gallons a year, guess what? $60,000 is now coming back at the end of the year. Just by switching over to a renewable power. So that $60,000 that you took schedule is, guess what? Take a year and a half to swap out all 300 tools that you have in the building. So right there, now he's going to talk because now showing him upfront money. And by doing that, now he's looking at, well, if I can do that, now I can go like borrow, or I can get money to upgrade the mechanical system, to upgrade this. And we think practical. That's one thing that I always try to put on the table to when I deal with clients is you have to think practical. Thinking practical is, as one for sound is not going to, solar power farm. That's like construction or practical sound that building that relative to how to do the proper. How to certain efficiency. Let's get the type of let's look at your heat, getting your heat loss. Let's see where same client, let's see where your heat's going. Why are you burning $300,000 a year? And when we do something like a little bore test, we come in and we see where the leakage is. Now the plan doesn't fix it. So the main thing that you need to really understand comes down to, green construction design or even reconstruction. It's these mega assurance and really get everybody involved. We work with companies like Green, we work with the architects, we work with different nonprofit organizations, because the more knowledge you have and women at the table, the better you're going to be able to establish your fight. And one thing to look at is that the old model was you had a large building to try and build, and you had all the consultants at the table. Now, as a consultant, you're there just to collect your fee. But not only providing plans and design and things like that, but the consulting firm. That's the model that came to the industry. Now, reverse that model. Take the same consultants and make sure all have sustainable business practices, that they are promoting green and they are for the green movement. Now, what's going to happen is we're going to take the same consultant and we sit down and we look at a sustainable design plan. Their main focus now is going to be on how do we reduce energy, how do we reduce costs, how do we reduce materials, what type of materials should we use in the building. Those are the questions that are now on the table, where on a project, the architect doesn't talk to the engineer, to structural engineer, no one communicates. So when that makes you ready and have everyone there, goal for the project, you'll start seeing them sometimes well, let's go with let's use these type of words. Let's go with this type of material. So by the way, there's a new product out that's going to have a lifetime product is 30 plus years. So a lot of things that we now incorporate into the same process. It's great to have all our checks done, have all the materials spent. We think about also our client. He has to operate that building at the end. What are the options for run that building? So that's how the product selection and everything is really looked at. So one thing that I wanted us to come in and address today is that the proper steps for doing a sustainable project is, and it's just early integration. All right, early integration on equal success. So when you think early, not. So if you're an architect out sitting in this today, a contractor, it's about getting involved. And companies that are doing this, make sure to get involved, you'll see how that's going to be. So any questions, I'll be at the end, but thank you guys for having me.